we from the hood. He's like an uncle. I look at him as like an uncle, though.
Okay. And where you from in St. Louis?
Peabody Project.
Oh, you from Peabody?
The tension between 50 Cent and the BMF family is reaching new levels, with Big Meech's nephew now stepping into the conflict. Leaked audio has surfaced, and knowing 50, he isn't one to let something like this go unanswered. What started as a dispute between 50 Cent and Big Meech has now expanded, drawing in Meech's son, Lil Meech, and now his nephew. This situation is escalating quickly, and if history tells us anything, 50's response will be as sharp and calculated as ever. For some time now, 50 Cent has been calling out Big Meech, even going as far as labeling him a snitch, an accusation that carries serious weight in the industry. The tension escalated when 50 started dropping hints on social media, posting cryptic messages, pictures, and even song lyrics. But things really took off when he shared a rat emoji alongside Rick. Ross lyrics sending a clear message. Then, on February 25th, 50 Cent took things up another notch. He shared what he claimed were legal documents that allegedly proved Big Meech had engaged in third-party cooperation with a federal informant. These documents, originally sourced from social media figure 1090 Jake, suggested that Tammy Cowens had used information from Big Meech to assist federal agents in targeting drug traffickers. With real names being mentioned and serious accusations being made, the situation became impossible to ignore. At the center of it all is Lil Meech, who portrays his father in 50 Cent's BMF series. Given their working relationship, one would expect them to be on good terms, but 50 started airing personal issues about him as well. He alleged that Lil Meech had difficulties on set, even suggesting he had a substance abuse problem that required rehab. According to 50, other actors and producers, including Russell Hornsby, witnessed these struggles firsthand. Meanwhile, 42 Doug also found himself caught in the middle. Reports surfaced claiming that Doug gave Big Meech $100 upon his release from prison, and 50 didn't hold back his opinion. He took to Instagram in classic fashion, sarcastically addressing Doug and suggesting the money should have gone to his own people instead. His post read, "Your daddy, my ninja. I love you and cheese 'cause of Q. You made a mistake giving Screech 100 so. You could have given that to your ninjas. You always been hard-headed. WTF. But 42. Doug wasn't about to let that slide. He quickly fired back on his Instagram stories, standing firm in his loyalty to Big Meech and dismissing the rumors. When blogs started running with the 100K story, Doug outright denied it, calling it fake news. However, things took another dramatic turn when 50 Cent released a series of text messages that sent shockwaves through the streets. The text hinted at explosive revelations, with one message stating, "Laugh out loud, I'm not gonna blow you up, bro." But Cuffy's nephew said he has the audio of him and 42 Doug on a three-way call with Meech. They're about to drop it. Him confronting Meech, and Meech putting him with Tammy. He's got the records to prove it. This meant that Big Meech, 42 Doug, and Cuffy's nephew were all on a recorded call, one that apparently turned hostile fast. After the leaked audio hit the internet, it confirmed what many had suspected. There was more to this story than what was being said publicly. In the call, Bay directly confronted Big Meech, demanding to know why he remained close to Tammy Cowens despite everything that had unfolded. If she truly cooperated with the feds and contributed to taking down BMF associates, why hadn't Meech distanced himself from her?
He played a third-party role in it.
Okay, so listen.
If he's paying attention or giving some type of explanation to Doug that it ain't given to the world.
Rather than providing a clear answer, Big Meech remained defensive. He insisted he didn't owe anyone an explanation. Not Bay, not the streets. No one. He made it clear that if people believed he was involved in any cooperation, they should present the paperwork to back up their claims. And as we know, 50 Cent had already claimed to have those documents on standby.
For about another minute, I say, you see what I'm saying? Look what I'm telling you. He's like, Doug's like, oh man, that ain't how that call's supposed to win. That's how it's supposed to go.
But Bebe wasn't about to let it go. He continued pressing Meech, calling him out for never publicly cutting ties with Tammy Cowens, despite the serious allegations against her. And to be fair, Bebe had a point. Many people had been suspicious about Meech's silence on the matter from the beginning. Instead of engaging in a lengthy back and forth, Big Meech ultimately decided to hang up the call. And let's be real, that move didn't exactly help his case in the eyes of the public. Once the audio was out, Bebe took things a step further. He sat down with Dogface TV for an exclusive 30-minute interview where he broke down the entire situation involving Big Meech, 42 Doug, and his uncle, Dion Cuffey. In this interview, Bebe didn't hold back. He outright claimed that Big Meech was fully aware of Tammy Cowens' involvement with the feds and that this was the real source of the snitching allegations. According to Bebe, Big Meech was allegedly expecting a reduction in his prison sentence in exchange for Tammy's cooperation with law enforcement. And if that claim wasn't shocking enough, Bebe also mentioned that there was paperwork to back it up. Documents reportedly showed that Tammy had told federal authorities she was introduced to Dion Cuffey through Big Meech, which ultimately tied Cuffey into the legal mess that landed him with a 27-year prison sentence.
Why did you dump those affidavits to help Cuff out if this your man? That's it. That's all. If you my man, and I can help you get out of jail, or help you get out of position, any position that you're in, and I know I don't play no part, I'm coming to help you.
But that wasn't the only revelation. Apparently, Big Meech also played a role in connecting Fidel Suarez with Tammy, dragging yet another name into this tangled web of alleged third-party cooperation. Now, whether or not Meech directly benefited from this arrangement remains a hot debate, but one thing is clear: Dion Cuffey ended up paying a steep price. According to Bebe, this situation is exactly why people in the streets have started calling Big Meech a rat. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any messier, 50 Cent made sure to keep the pressure on. Over the years, 50 has built a reputation for holding on to receipts, and this situation was no different. He continued exposing anyone who aligned themselves with his enemies, and unfortunately for Big Meech, he and his son, Lil Meech, had been seen associating with some of 50's longtime rivals. Naturally, 50 didn't let that slide. His response was exactly what you'd expect. He took straight to Instagram. If there's one thing about 50, it's that he's the king of online shade, and he wasted no time throwing subliminal shots at Big Meech and his circle. Posting cryptic messages, making jokes, and keeping his foot on their necks, 50 made it clear he wasn't about to back down anytime soon. But what really got people talking was when 50 hinted at something even bigger: a possible tell-all documentary on BMF featuring none other than Tammy Cowens. If that actually happens, it could bring even more explosive details to light, potentially changing the entire narrative surrounding Big Meech's legacy. And let's not forget, 50 has been relentless in going after Lil Meech too. After leaking messages where Lil Meech appeared to be trying to stay on good terms with him, 50 went as far as threatening to remove him from the BMF series altogether. He also doubled down on claims that Lil Meech had personal issues affecting his work, stating that even producers and cast members had witnessed his behavior firsthand. To make matters worse, 50 even suggested that Big Meech himself was enabling his son's actions, adding yet another layer to this already complicated situation. At this point, the feud has escalated beyond mere social media jabs. The allegations, leaked conversations, and mounting pressure from all sides have left many questioning the future of Big Meech's reputation. And with 50 Cent still stirring the pot, it doesn't look like things will calm down anytime soon. As the controversy continued to spread, it wasn't just the streets talking. This situation had become a full-blown public spectacle. More people began questioning whether Big Meech had knowingly stayed in contact with Tammy Cowens, despite her alleged cooperation with the feds. Some were even saying that Meech wasn't just aware of her involvement, he may have benefited from it. At this point, the pressure was building. Big Meech had already been hit with allegations, but the leaked conversations and Bebe's interview had pushed the narrative even further. And then, 50 Cent took things up another level. Just when people thought he was done, 50 started hinting at more receipts. On social media, he teased that he had even more paperwork proving what he had been saying all along. And if there's one thing about 50, it's that when he claims he has proof, people tend to believe him. Meanwhile, Lil Meech was stuck in the middle of it all. Already facing his own challenges in Hollywood, he had to deal with the fact that his father's name was being dragged through the mud. And as 50 Cent continued applying pressure, Lil Meech found himself in an impossible position. He couldn't clap back too hard without making things worse for his father, but staying silent only made it look like the accusations were true. And let's not forget, this isn't just some random internet drama. The BMF name carries weight in hip-hop and in the streets. For years, Big Meech was seen as a legendary figure, someone who built an empire, stayed solid, and took his time in prison without ever flipping on his people. But now, his legacy was being questioned in ways that no one had expected. As more people dug into the situation, some started wondering if the snitching allegations weren't just about Tammy Cowens. What if there was more to the story? What if Big Meech's reduced sentence had come with conditions that the public didn't know about yet? Of course, there were still many people defending him, saying that Meech would never cooperate with law enforcement. But in this era of the internet, perception is everything. And right now, the perception wasn't in Big Meech's favor. One thing is for sure, this situation isn't going away anytime soon. With 50 Cent still teasing more information, and Bay continuing to expose what he claims is the real truth, we might not have heard the last of this story. The question is, will Big Meech respond? Or will he continue to stay silent as the controversy around his name keeps growing? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more compelling stories. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support keeps us bringing you the truth behind the headlines. See you in the next one.